I be on that kryptonite, straight up on that kryptonite. Who am I? Take it, motherfucker. I be on that, I be on that. Take it.
You get inside the classroom while catching your breath. You ran to reach your classroom, so you still had time to have breakfast with Jungkook. You automatically spotted him, sitting in the corner reading a book while wearing a headphone so he couldn't hear his surroundings. You walk closer to him and knock on his desk, but he didn't hear you or notice you. So you put your index finger on the middle of his forehead, and finally he noticed you, standing on next to him. He took off his headphone and smiled at you. He looked up and greeted you. Good morning. You smiled back at him and said, Good morning. Did you have breakfast? Not yet. Maybe later. Good. Then let's eat together since we still have time to eat. As you sat next to him and took out the sandwich from your bag and handed one to him. Thank you, because you always include me every time you brought breakfast. Later, our lunch is my treat, he said and started eating the sandwich. At least I eat with someone here, unlike at home. I always eat alone, you replied and took the orange juice bottle from your bag. Oh, I forgot to bring your banana milk. It's okay. Let's just share your orange juice. He took the bottle from your hands and opened it. After you drank, he took it and drank it also, as if he didn't care, knowing that you two were drinking from the same bottle. Jungkook got transferred to your school just this school year. He is a quiet and cold type of person who rarely speak and talk to others. Even though he is a new student, he was immediately chosen as the class president because of his intelligence and good looks. No denying that many girls are drooling at him, but he doesn't pay attention to them. So you wonder why he is nice to you, and you notice that you are the only one he often talks to. Your first encounter was the time your teacher asked you to accompany Jungkook to the administration office to pass on his other requirements. Then the next day, he himself asked you to accompany him to tour of the entire school campus. It's followed by another encounter until you became friends. In your thought, maybe you are the one he wants to be friends with because you both like to be alone and quiet all the time. An introvert type, something like that. You didn't say you don't have friends. Of course you have, but you prefer to be alone and don't join their wanderings. I heard you're the top one again this quarter. I hope so. Tch, why you are so humble even though you already know that you are the top one? Anyways, congrats in advance as you bump into his shoulder. Are you done eating? Mm. Then give me your garbage. I'll throw it away. Okay. After you handed him the trash, you also told him that you will go to your designated chair. We eat lunch together later, okay? You nodded and got to your seat. Lunch break. You two were about to finish eating lunch when Celine, the vice president of your class, came over. Jungkook, we need to talk about something. You expected that Jungkook would not agree or just ignore her because that's what he always does. But you got a little surprised when he replied, Okay, why in? You'll go back first in the classroom. We just talk about something. You just nodded and watching them leaving the cafeteria. At that time, you didn't feel anything else because you thought they were just talking about class problems or what. While your teacher is busy teaching about developmental biology, You yawn all the time since biology is you hated the most of all subjects. You don't really understand anything. Even though you listen carefully, it didn't sync with your brain. Okay, for the next 2 days, I will give an exam. So you should study. Your jaw drop because you know you have nothing to answer as you scratch your head without you knowing. Jungkook saw you looking frustrated. Later on, you heard someone calling your name from behind. You looked behind and saw Jungkook mounted at you. What's wrong? You just shook your head and said, nothing. Until you thought, why don't you try to ask Jungkook to teach you? After class, you put your things back on your bag and approached to Jungkook as you sat next to him. Ko, can I ask a favor? Will you teach me about biology? I'm sorry, YN. Actually, I'm in a hurry. Celine and I already have a plan. Maybe next time, he said while fixing his things. Later on, Celine came and said, Jungkook, let's go. So it wouldn't be obvious that you feel offended for rejecting your favor. You just smile and say, it's okay. But the truth is, you are really hurt. But you can't explain why you are hurting. For rejecting you? Or because he and Celine are together again? You start worrying and being paranoid. Your mind saying, what if Jungkook doesn't want to be friends with you anymore? He just doesn't want to tell you directly because he doesn't want to hurt or embarrass you. This is the first time you've seen Jungkook band with other girl, and truthfully, you are happy because he slowly opens his world, and you don't want your selfishness to be the reason to stop him experiencing having friends to others. You were almost late because you didn't wake up right away. You sleep around 4 in the morning because you force yourself to study and think what you studied in your brain. When you entered the classroom, you saw Jungkook. You hesitate to approach him after what happened yesterday, but you thought you couldn't eat the sandwich that you made all by yourself, so you decided to share with him. Hi, good morning. I have sandwiches here. You want some? Jungkook about to answer, but Celine suddenly called him. Jungkook, I found it! He immediately stood up and went to her. In a hurry, he forgot to answer you. This time, you're really not okay. Your insecurities are starting to eat your self-confidence. You thought Jungkook chose Celine over you, and he doesn't like you anymore. And since then, you start distancing yourself from him. You start avoiding him so you don't run into each other. Jungkook is started to wonder about your actions. You don't come to him every morning. When he invites you to have lunch together, he always says you are full. You also avoid having a conversation and having an eye contact with him. After 2 days, your teacher returned the test results of your exam. You just scratch your head at the result of your exam because you got F. To those who got low marks, I will give you a second chance. You can come to my office tomorrow to take the exam, your teacher said. Until you felt goosebumps and weird feelings, like someone is watching you. You looked to your both sides, but you didn't see anyone's looking at you. Then you thought of turning behind, as you saw Jungkook staring at you, and he looks worried. But you just ignore him and immediately look in front to avoid his gaze. After class, you decided to go to the library to review, but Jungkook blocked your way and held your wrist. Let's go, I'll teach you. I'm okay, thank you. I'm sorry, I need to go, you said and removed his hand from your wrist and walked out. He just sighed out of frustration while asking himself, why is she acting like that? What's wrong? You go to the library and get a book that you needed. You start reading, but you can't concentrate because you don't know if what you are doing to Jungkook is right or wrong. What I'm going to do? I'm missing him, you said while banging your forehead on the table again and again until someone places a hand on the table so you won't hurt your forehead. You might get hurt from what you're doing, that person said. You raised your head after hearing that familiar voice as you saw Jungkook sitting across from you. YN, I'm bitterly disappointed because our beautiful relationship ended up like this. Do you know that misunderstanding is usually the reason why the relationship breaks down? I don't want to jump in any conclusion, so I will ask you because I want to hear from you yourself the answer. Are you avoiding me? Of course not. That's what you only said. Because you can't tell him that, yes, I'm avoiding you because I'm hurting, because I'm jealous of Celine. But why do I feel like you're avoiding me? You stand up and put the book back on the shelf and about to leave the library. See? Obviously you're avoiding me, he added. You go to him and held his hand. This time I'm not avoiding you. We can't make noise here. This is library. Let's go. Let's talk outside. As you pulled him. You took him to a quiet place where you can talk. You let go of his hand and say, okay, you have a point about misunderstanding. Maybe because of my actions would create a misunderstanding with us. I know I have no right to be jealous, but that's what I feel. I feel like my close friend is slowly disappearing from me. I feel like Celine is taking you away from me. I know I'm wrong and I'm sorry if I jump into a conclusion without talking to you, but I can stop myself. I'm sorry if you feel that way. Maybe I'm wrong too, because lately I've been busy and I neglected you. Celine and I are working together for the upcoming centennial. They truly ask us to make the program, so you often see us together. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that I'm jealous of you when you go together. Maybe, I don't know, but promise, I'm happy that my friend has a new friend. To be honest, you're really confused until now. You haven't figured out why you are jealous. Are you afraid that Jungkook will be taken away from you as a friend? Or are you afraid that he will taken away from you because you have a feelings for him? Friend? Is that all you really see me? As your friend? Uh-huh. I don't know how to start this because I'm afraid it might be the end of our good acquaintance, or if I'm lucky, it will be my dream come true. I told myself I might as well take a risk because it's the only remedy I know that I could unburden this feeling I've been keeping ever since. You wanna know the truth? About what? I like you. Yeah, I do. That probably more than anyone ever did. But you just seem not to care. When I try give you a hint, you just don't seem to be noticed them. I wonder why. When I talk to you, you're always like, I'm not the type of a guy who you have a crush on. I'll tell you that I haven't eaten breakfast yet so that someone can eat with you since you always said that you eat alone at home. But actually, I already have my breakfast Because my mom scolded me if I leave without having a meal. But still, you didn't get the hint. You are the only girl I talk to, so you think you have no rivals for my attention. So you think you're the only person I give my attention to, so I can show you that you are special to me. But still, you don't get the hint. I get angry when you leave me on read. Yes, I do. Of course I will. It's a hint, but you don't seem to notice that too. But I realize you really wouldn't notice it if you only see me as your friend. Now I will ask you again. Do you really see me as your friend only? Honestly, I'm not sure. It's okay. I'm not forcing you to find out right now. I just wanted you to know that I'm crazy like you. No, not like. Instead, I'm crazy in love with you. You two are just stand, staring at each other while having butterflies in your stomach. You throw yourself on the bed and place your hand on your chest while listening to your heartbeat. Why is my heart beating non-stop after Jungkook told me that he loves me? Do I really like him too? You said to yourself, until you remember what he told you after he tutored you at the coffee shop. After you talked, he invited you to a coffee shop and there he taught you about biology so that you're ready for the rating test that you will do.
Flashback.
Don't force yourself to find out how you really feel about me. Take it slowly. I want you to be sure of it. Don't worry, I'm willing to wait. If you're going to ask me, the first time I saw you in the cafeteria, I already know I like you. But I didn't rush because I don't want to hurt you in the end. But now I'm really sure about my feelings for you. What if? What if I only think of you as a friend? What would you do? Of course I will be hurt, but I have to accept that. I can't force you to love me back. Will I still be your friend if that happens? I'm always your friend, YN. You're the only girl that I treasure a lot.
End of flashback.
You took your phone and looked at the picture of you and Jungkook together. While scrolling the phone, you realized something. The next day, Jungkook wondered because the class was about to start, but you still not come. What's wrong? We already talked. I'm sure she's not avoiding me anymore. Then the teacher for the first subject arrived, but still you didn't show up. She started calling the student's name for attendance. Choi YN, YN, but no one answered. Until one of the students says, Miss Kim, YN is at the clinic. She got injured. The principal accidentally hit her on his car. Jungkook immediately stood up and ran midway going to the clinic. The teacher called him but he just ignored her. Nurse, I'm okay. My ankle doesn't hurt anymore. The principal said you need to stay here until your parents arrive. You don't need to call my parents. I'm okay. They only worry once they found out. Promise I'm okay. Are you sure? Alright, I talked to the principal first. I'll be back. After that, she got out of the room and closed the door. But later on, it also opened, which you ignored it, thinking it was just the nurse. That's why you were surprised when suddenly someone hugged you. Are you okay? I'll take you to the hospital. You broke the hug and said, Why are you here? I'm okay. Go back to class now. Miss Kim might get mad at you. You said that after knowing it's Jungkook. I'm just worried. That's why I'm here. But if I bothered you, I'm sorry. He said and about to go, but you held the tip of his clothes to stop him from leaving you. I'm sorry. I'm not pushing you away. I'm just worried that Miss Kim will get mad at you. I'm okay. It's just a simple scratch, you said and opened your hand. He looked at it as you signaled him to hold it. He held your hand. After that, you hold it with your other hand. I'm sorry if I realized this late. Do you know that one of my wishes every day is to fall asleep as I'm talking to you on the phone? Or texting you a sweet goodnight message. Every morning, I woke up hoping I have a message from you or wanting to leave you a good morning text for when you up. I think of you so often and I find myself wondering what's real anymore. If I know one thing for certain is that a reality that to live is one in which you are by my side. I realize that I also want to take our relationship into the next level. Are you sure you are ready to be my boyfriend? Cause I'm certainly sure I'm not ready to be your girlfriend. He chuckled and said, I've been ready for a long time as you two laugh together while staring at each other. Um, I'm sorry if I disturb your first date. Actually, you look fantastic together. Congrats. Ah, by the way, boyfriend, can you accompany your girlfriend going back to your class now? Don't worry, I know how to keep a secret. As a result of bad understanding in relationships, people often grow apart and have regular conflicts. To fix any misunderstanding, one must be patient and listen to understand others' point of view. A lot of clarity comes in which we communicate correctly. Misunderstanding can ruin good relationships. Friends can break their bond due to misunderstandings. So, clear out the differences and always talk it out. The end. Thank you for watching Kubi's Good Night. I love you all. Mwah, mwah, chup chup.